Hello friends, Christian here with BrickLifeCrisis, and today we're taking a look at the LEGO Architecture Empire State Building set number 21002. This is not the new Empire State Building that came out just recently. This is the one that came out a few years back that is in, I guess you'd say, micro or even nano scale. This set consists of only 77 pieces. It's recommended for ages 10 and up, but it's a pretty cool little build, a nice little decorative element to put on your desk or on a bookshelf or something like that. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what we think. Alright, and here it is, the Empire State Building, set number 21002. This is a nice little model. I say little because it's just under 7.5 inches tall, but they've managed to add some fairly decent detail to something as simple as this. Let's go ahead and take a little bit closer look. First of all, on the base, you have the printed tile. It says Empire State Building, and that's pretty common with all of these architecture builds. We have kind of a sidewalk around it. But the actual building is done up nicely. You'll notice that there's kind of an indentation here at the bottom and then another one in the main tower. And that's done with the aid of some jumper plates to allow for that to happen. It just looks pretty cool. Over the top of the tower we have the broadcast antenna, and that's used for broadcasting radio and I think now television waves as well. The actual Empire State Building is about 1,250 feet tall, I believe. It's 102 stories, something like that. At the time it was constructed in 1930 and 1931, it was the tallest building in the world, and it remained the tallest building in the world until the World Trade Center opened in 1972. So it had a fairly long run as being the tallest building in the world. Of course, there's not a lot of fine detail on this. There are no windows or doors or anything because these are just tan bricks. But they do a pretty good job of representing the building, and I am perfectly happy with the way that they have designed and constructed this. It's a nice little model, and it does a really good job of representing the actual building. The instruction manual included with this set is typical with the architecture line in that the quality of the paper and the printing is just a little bit better, slightly thicker stock, and a little bit better printing overall. One kind of interesting thing is the photo art of the model looks to have kind of a gold sheen on it, and it does not. These are just tan bricks, so that's a little bit deceptive. But anyway, you have the architecture logo and then Empire State Building, New York, New York. And on the inside there's a brief description about the architect and the construction of the building. And then on the other side, facts about the building. 350 Fifth Avenue, New York, New York. Names the architect and the type of construction and all that sort of thing. And then just a couple of points of interest. The observation deck was originally intended to be used as a mooring platform for blimps and airships. They would theoretically dock up there, and you could have passengers travel via blimp, and that would be in essence your airport or your skyport right up there at the top. However, at 1,250 feet the winds are pretty high, and it became really impractical to try to do that, and so they kind of scrapped that idea. But I think that's kind of interesting that originally they thought that maybe they could have blimps travel between buildings and people could travel that way. So this set was originally released back in 2009 at a retail cost of about $20, which for a piece count of 77 pieces isn't great. But these architecture sets are always really well designed, and they tend to be a little bit more expensive on the price per part count than a typical LEGO set, basically because they're designed for adult collectors and not necessarily for kids. These are not toys per se, as much as they are just display pieces and display models. But anyway, it's a pretty cool model. I enjoyed it, and I'm happy to have it as part of my architecture collection. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave us a like. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those below. And as always, thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye for now.